Hopefully you guys have had a good start to the week so far on this, is this Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. I'm getting my days mixed up. I wanted to do something that I think is kind of interesting. And, it kind of, this idea kind of sparked from a conversation I was having with a friend of mine when I was out working the other day. And I think it's definitely an interesting kind of topic. But before I get into that, if you are new to the channel, or you're new to hockey in general, I'm very, very very happy that you're here. If you love hockey like I do, it would be greatly appreciated and would be very, very awesome if you'd hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the little bell too if you want to be notified anytime future videos are uploaded. And I kind of have, I guess maybe it's a little cool little interesting question to ask. I'm inching closer to 2,000 subscribers. I would, hitting that number by the end of the summer, I think might be a little, I don't know. But I think it would be absolutely fantastic and would really love your guys' help with this. I would love it if I could hit 2,000 subscribers by my birthday. My birthday falls on September 8th. So that would be an amazing birthday present. It would be an amazing birthday present to get to 2,000 plus subscribers by my birthday. That would be absolutely amazing. It would be awesome, and I would not be able to thank you guys enough. And then, of course, hit 2,000 and, keep on going, But yeah, I would love your guys' assistance with that, and that would be, like I said, it would be an awesome, awesome birthday present to get over 2,000 subscribers by my birthday. That would be amazing, and that's still a couple months away, but it would be awesome, and would really, really love your guys' help with that. But I wanted to look at, because I was talking to a friend of mine when I was out working, and we were talking about, different things that would spark conversations. And, like what would be a good conversation starter. And I thought, I've got some jerseys that would make some that I think would be very interesting conversations, would spark interesting conversations and have sparked conversations. And I thought I would go through a few of my jerseys that have sparked some interesting conversations where people look at the jersey and they're like, what in the world is that? And I thought I would go through a few of them and show you guys some good conversation starter hockey jerseys. Now, one jersey that definitely has sparked some conversations has been this one. The reverse retro 2.0 of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Just because, people have asked, they're like, what in the world is that? How, they're like, okay, we know it's Tampa, but why, why did they do that? And you go and you tell them that this was a style that they had back in the 90s and I think early 2000s. Let's see, 97. So the late 90s. They had a jersey that was called the Storm jersey, and it was one of the more interesting looking jerseys for sure. And it's interesting, when people look at it, they look at how it's printed, and they're like, well, what are these all supposed to be? What are all these little lines supposed to be, throughout down the back and all that? And we're like, it's raindrops. It's called the Storm jersey. Those are raindrops, and of course, you've got, like on the water, you got the waves down there, same as on the back. And of course, you can't have a thunderstorm without lightning bolts, right? So, it's interesting to hear people go and ask, and they're like, what in the heck? And you go and you explain to them that's what it is, and you still get some looks that are like, huh? But yeah, the Storm jersey is definitely a very, very good conversation starter. Now, this one has always been a cool conversation starter because not a lot of people realize that this was a hockey team. This was a team. This was an NHL franchise. Not a lot of people know it. I can't count how many times I've either worn this before and people are like, what is that? And I'm like, it's a hockey team. And they're like, an NHL team? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I've never heard of them. Not a lot of people had. Because they were only in the league for 2 seasons. And, it's interesting. When people look at the logo, they don't know what the logo is. They figure, okay, it's Kansas City something because of the K and the C there. But they don't know. They don't know who it is. They couldn't name a player on the team, which honestly I can't even really name a player on the team. But a lot of people think that they look at the color concept and they're like, well, the color concept's kind of cool, but they don't know what the team is. And when you go and tell them it's the Kansas City Scouts, they're like, never heard of them. And you look at them and say, not a lot of people have, because they were only around for 2 seasons. So that always makes an interesting conversation starter, and it's definitely a good, for somebody who is not sure about, or is not that well versed on teams. You go and show them a team like this, and they're like, "How is that a hockey team?" It was. So yeah, the Kansas City Scouts definitely a great conversation starter. Another good conversation starter is this. Again, this is a jersey that not a lot of people would know. I mean, they know it's Colorado, but they're like, Colorado what? And you go and you tell them it's the Colorado Rockies, and they look at you and say, isn't that a baseball team? The Colorado Rockies baseball team, they don't wear stuff like this. It's because before the Colorado Rockies baseball team was ever a thing, you had, after the 2 years in Kansas City, they moved to Denver, Colorado, and became the Colorado Rockies. And this was the jersey. They kept, similar, they basically kept the same type of colors and everything. But, the Blue Mountain, the sea there for Colorado, and, it's definitely an interesting jersey. Now, I've seen a lot of people that have gone and said about the, the letter on the sleeve. I had numerous people go and say, that looks like Pac-Man. They literally, some people have come up to me and said, why do they put something on the shoulder of the jersey that, what does that have to do with Pac-Man? It doesn't, but I can see how they figure that might have something to do with Pac-Man. But it's not. It is part of the Colorado state flag, and the Colorado Avalanche, their reverse retro 2.0, they put that C on the front of the reverse retro. So this definitely is a cool conversation starter where, especially when you go and you tell them the team name and they look at you like they look at you like you're an idiot, because you're like, no, that's the baseball team. No. way before the Rockies baseball team was ever a thing, you had the Colorado Rockies as a hockey team, and definitely sparked some good conversations. Now this team has some jerseys that definitely spark some conversations. I've got a couple more in this. I'll have a couple more in this video from this team that spark some very, very interesting conversations. This one people look at and they're like, "What is that?" The colors are cool. I like the colors. I like the blue and the green. But a lot of people, you go and you wear this jersey outside, people literally, they'll walk by you and be like this. Because they see the logo and nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows what it is. So when you have people that come walking up and they're like, "That's an interesting jersey. What the heck is on the front?" And you go and say, that is the sticking rink. And you say, "Sticking rink?" And they're like, "Yeah, you've got the hockey stick here. And the rest of this here is shaped like a hockey rink. You've got the white. The white is for the ice. You got the sticks, so that's why it's called the sticking rink." But then people go and ask, "Okay, what team is that?" And when you go and tell them it's the Vancouver Canucks, again, they look at you like, "Huh?" They don't, which even me, I'm like, yeah, I don't really know necessarily what a Canuck is. I don't really know what this has to do with the Vancouver Canuck name. But this was the jersey they wore when they first came into the NHL. This was the jersey they wore. And it definitely does. It sparks some interesting conversations, especially with the logo. A lot of people like the color scheme. They think the colors look nice, but that logo really throws people off. And it's cool when you go and you explain to them exactly what it is, and they still give you that look like, "Huh?" And it goes right over their head. It's fun to do. But yeah, this jersey, definitely a good conversation starter. And there are a couple other jerseys from this team that you will see that you think this sparks some interesting conversations. Wait till you see the other Canuck jerseys that I have. Another jersey that sparks some interesting conversations, especially the couple times I've worn it, is this one. People look at this and they're like, "What in the, they're like, "Okay, was that a hockey team?" And you go and say, "Yes, it was." And you're like, "I've never seen them. Never seen them. Never heard of them." And when you go and say, "Yeah, would you believe they came in the same year as the Minnesota North Stars?" Especially for people here in Minnesota. And they're like, "Wait, they came in with the North Stars?" Yes, they did. The Oakland Seals. They then became the California Golden Seals. Then they went from there and they moved to Cleveland, became the Cleveland Barons, and eventually merged with the Minnesota North Stars. So when you go through and you kind of tell them the history of this team and what kind of happened with them and where they went to, what they became, and people are like, "Huh." So yeah, because a lot of people don't they look at this and they're like, "The Seals, like that's a seal?" Yeah. Yeah, that is technically a seal. Doesn't really look like a seal, but it's definitely interesting. And and it was interesting too that when I got this isn't the normal airnet polyester. This is kind of a more solid type of material, which it's not bad. it's definitely not bad. And, it's definitely interesting. But yeah, telling people that that is a seal, and you tell them it's the Oakland Seals and that they came in the expansion, in the 1967 expansion, hearing people go, huh? And they just, they look at you like, what, like, huh? But yeah. So this is a good conversation starter, especially when they see the logo, they don't know what it is, and you go and tell them, and they're still like, huh? So, but yeah, another good conversation starter. The colors are cool, and yeah, so yeah, the Oakland Seals, definitely one that will give some looks. Now, you want to talk about a jersey that gives people some looks? May I present to you the motorists? This jersey is nonsense. I mean, what really can you say about the motorists? To wear this in public and to have the looks that people will give you. I mean, I've done it. I've walked into places and people have seen this and are literally and are just like, whoa, what? Because they have no clue. They have no clue what hockey team this is. And when you tell them it's the Dallas Stars, they're like, what were they smoking when they came up with this? I don't really know. But this was the Dallas Stars alternate for a good number of years in the late 90s into the 2000s. And I mean, obviously, you have it's supposed to be a star constellation there. I think it's supposed to be based on the Taurus constellation, even though the Taurus constellation has nothing to do with this. But it is interesting. And this is just, and when you say, it's the motorists, and people are like, and you explain, why is it called the motorists? And you kind of explain it to them, and again, they have that dumbfounded look, like, huh? But yeah, this jersey, definitely a great conversation starter, and we'll definitely get some very, very interesting looks. And yeah, I definitely when the temperature starts getting cold again, I definitely cannot wait to wear this out in public and roam around in public, just to see the looks that some people will give and be like, what in the heck is that? So you want a good conversation starter? I give you the motorists. Now this jersey gets some interesting conversations started, mainly because of the hideousness of the color. If any of you are familiar with the Grey Poupon mustard, that's where you get this. The mustard cat. The Nashville Predators original, one of the first third jerseys they ever created. And this was the jersey that the Reverse Retro 2.0 for Nashville is based off of. Fortunately, with that one, they didn't go mustard color. What we wish that one would have been blue, but they went with the marigold yellow, which honestly looks, that yellow looks much better than this. But yeah, this one, definitely a good conversation starter, because people look at, I mean, a lot of people like the logo. The logo is awesome. I love that logo. The logo too on the shoulder is fantastic with the skull and everything. But the big conversation starter for this one is the color, because people see that color And they are just like, why? And all I can really say is, it's the early 2000s. Really, what can you say? Because in the early 2000s, this, for some reason, the designers of this thought that this color would make a good color for a jersey. I don't know. The color is hideous. The logo's phenomenal. The color, not so much. The color, definitely a fabulous conversation starter. And now we get to the jerseys that, without a doubt, spark the most conversations. Whenever I have worn these two jerseys, they have sparked, people walk by me and they literally are like, what is that? Nobody has a clue. And it is, as I back up here, it is the Flying V's of the Vancouver Canucks. You want a jersey or jerseys to start a conversation. These are the jerseys that have sparked the most conversations when I have worn them. Because literally, nobody really knows what they are. People look at them and they're like, why are those a thing? Who in their right mind, designed it? And I had said, when I was talking about the motorists, what were people, what were they smoking when they designed that? We kind of wonder that about these. What were the designers of the Vancouver Canucks design department? What were they smoking? It had to have been pretty damn good to come up with this. Now, this one is not bad. This one, I've actually gotten a lot of people that say, that's actually not too bad. That's a pretty good looking jersey. Even though this thing is freaking huge on me because it is a, as you can probably see there, it is an adult jumbo, which basically is a true 4XL. This one, I've gotten a lot of people that think it actually looks pretty good. The logo on the side is awesome. The skate logo is great. You got the V's there because, if it doesn't have a V on it, you're not going to know they're from Vancouver. So, and that's kind of how they think. Well, nobody's going to know we're from Vancouver, so we have to plaster V's all over them. But this one, people have looked at me and are like, I have had people walk up to me and say, that is the most hideous thing I have ever seen. As to where I look at them and I say, thank you very much. It is hideous. And then it starts the conversation. What is it? Why, and I go and I say, it's the Canucks, the Vancouver Canucks. And they're like, and people are like, what in the world were they thinking? As to where I look at them and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. They had to have been on something. They had to have been on something. I don't know what. I don't know if the was a little too good, or if they were just coming up with, if they were just having like hallucinations and just all these colors came up. But to just all of a sudden kind of throw this together and, hey, let's make something marigold, black, and orange. And be like, well, we're from Vancouver. Well, nobody's going to know where we're from. So let's slap a big V on the front. This was late 70s, early 80s. Late 70s, early 80s, just hideousness. Bottom line, this was just, late 70s, early 80s. I don't know what else to, I don't know really what else to say. But yeah, these jerseys are the epitome of hideous. This one, more than this one, a lot of people think that one's not too bad. This one was voted at one time the ugliest jersey in NHL history. This one. Now I remember when I kept seeing these jerseys available on sportsk.com. And I kept looking at them. And I remember I went and I got the black one first. And I'm like, okay, I can handle the black one. I kept looking at this one. I kept looking at it, and I kept thinking, it's too ugly. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too ugly. But then the more I kept looking at it, and I said, no, I have to have that one because it is so ugly. So yeah. When I went and ordered this, I was very, very happy it was still available. And yeah, I'm very, very happy that I have this. And yeah, the ultimate conversation starter of my collection is this particular Flying V jersey. The black one gets some too, but I get way more people come up to me when I'm wearing this and say that is the most hideous thing I have ever seen. And I take that as an immense compliment. I take it as a huge compliment. I have literally said to people, thank you very much. It is hideous. It is the ugliest. It was rated the ugliest jersey in NHL history. And they're like, why do you wear it around? And I'm like, why not? For this reason. It sparks conversations. And it's fun. It is fun. So to wear a jersey that is ugly and hideous, and to be able to spark that conversation with people is awesome. It is so cool to do. And especially when they tell you just how hideous it is, and you go and say thank you so much. I'm very, very glad you think it's hideous, because I think it's hideous too. But yeah, when people then go and say, well, why do you wear it? And I'm like, for this reason. It sparks conversation. And it's a lot of fun. So I thought this was kind of a cool thing to do, to kind of go through some of my jerseys that spark the most interesting conversations. And yeah. So, and those two for sure sparked the most conversations. The one definitely. But it was really cool to do this and to look through some of my jerseys that start, a very, very interesting conversation. And you go, and you can go into the history, and and they can look at you, and they can literally look at you like you got steaming turds coming out of your mouth. It's fun. It's fun. I enjoy it. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys have any jerseys in your collections that are interesting conversation starters? If you do, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to know what ones you guys have. What ones sparked the biggest conversations? And do you guys get similar looks? Do you guys get similar looks where you'll walk by somebody and they'll literally go like this, like, did any of you guys get looks like that? I'd love to know what you guys think. So let me know what jerseys you have in your collection that are the biggest conversation starters, and what kind of looks do you guys get? I'd love to know. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button too. Also, hit the little bell too if you want to be notified anytime future videos are uploaded. And again, I think it would be absolutely fantastic if you guys could assist in getting me to 2,000 subscribers by September 8th, which is my my birthday, it would be a fabulous, it'd be an awesome birthday present. And again, let me know what jerseys you have that sparked the biggest conversations. And again, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit that little bell too to be notified anytime future videos are uploaded. It would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, hopefully, see if we can get me to 2,000 plus subscribers by September 8th. Like I said, that would be an awesome birthday present. And I will see you guys very soon.